Welcome to The Explainer. I am absolutely thrilled you're tuning in today because we're going to dive into something that is literally revolutionizing how businesses connect with their clients. Think about the sheer volume of messy, raw website logs your company generates every single day. If we're being honest, most people just ignore them, or they look at them and just find it totally overwhelming. But what if I told you that you could take those digital breadcrumbs and transform them into high-converting, deeply personalized sales offers? Today, we are unpacking the brilliant concept of Sales 2.0. We'll look at how using large language models, combined with your existing CRM, can turn that raw, chaotic data into winning, completely customized pitches. Let's get right into it.
Here's our quick roadmap for today. We're covering 1. The problem with guessing. 2. Decoding those raw data logs. 3. A real-world factoring case study. 4. Crafting the actual LLM prompt. And 5. Automating the whole pipeline.
All right, let's jump straight into part 1, the problem with guessing.
So think about the traditional approach, what we'll call Sales 1.0. This is the outdated, manual way of doing things where sales reps essentially just guess what a client needs. They're making up a unique selling proposition totally by eye or just winging it on a call. And honestly, when we guess, we lose conversions and we waste a ton of time. On the flip side, Sales 2.0 is an entirely different beast. It moves logically from user behavior to genuine insight to a highly personalized offer. Deep personalization shouldn't be based on a gut feeling. It needs to be driven by hard, undeniable data.
Moving on to Section 2, let's talk about decoding those raw data logs to find the strong signals.
Okay, so take a look at this. It's basically a digital crime scene, and it is incredibly dense. You've got row IDs, domains, the exact seconds spent on a page, specific topics, group categories. It is enough to make anyone's head spin. And remember, for a real business, this represents thousands and thousands of rows every week. Let's be real, no sales manager has the time or the data science degree to sift through this manually. So we have to know exactly what clues we are looking for.
Now here is a really fascinating, kind of counterintuitive insight. The most crucial part of this is knowing the difference between a weak signal and a strong signal. You'd probably assume that a high duration on a web page means high interest, right? Well, the data actually shows that duration is often just noise. More often than not, a user just opened a tab, got distracted, and walked away to grab a coffee. The true smoking gun, the real indicator of intent, is when a user repeatedly returns to a specific topic on completely different days. That right there gives us the absolute cleanest indication of what they actually care about.
Once you apply that strong signal filter, all that random background noise just fades away, and these incredibly stable patterns start to emerge. By filtering out the general homepage clicks and accidental views, we can see exactly what our user was doing. They weren't just casually browsing. They consistently returned to 3 very specific things: the bonus program, the calendar features, and electronic invoices. By cutting through the noise, we've just uncovered the entire foundation for our personalized offer.
All right, Section 3. Let's look at a real-world factoring case study to see how we uncover hidden pains.
Put your detective hat on for a second. Imagine you're analyzing a prospect's recent activity from May 2025. Out of nowhere, you see this sudden, sharp spike. They are repeatedly reading articles about factoring, which, if you aren't familiar, is a financial tool where a company essentially sells its invoices to get immediate cash. So ask yourself, why is this user suddenly reading up on this highly specific financial instrument right now? What does this sudden, intense interest actually tell us about the real-world situation happening inside their business?
Well, it tells us they're hurting. Businesses don't just research factoring for fun on a Tuesday. It signals deep, hidden business pains. A spike like this almost certainly points to a cash flow gap. It points to serious issues with accounts receivable or payable, or maybe they're dealing with long, incredibly frustrating payment cycles. Because we successfully decoded that raw data, we now intimately understand the exact problem that is keeping this business owner awake at night.
Which brings us to Section 4, crafting the LLM prompt. This is our formula for success.
Now, obviously, we can't have a human sit around writing thousands of these customized pitches all day, so we rely on an AI, specifically a large language model. But here's the catch. LLMs need strict, clear instructions or they go off the rails. So we use a highly effective 4-step formula for our prompt. Step 1, identify the problem based on the data. Step 2, present a tailored solution or benefit. Step 3, show undeniable proof. And Step 4, end with a really clear call to action. This structure is what ensures the AI spits out a highly targeted, persuasive pitch every single time.
So let's apply that formula directly to our factoring case. It's a straight line. The signal leads us to the pain dictates the USP, and the USP naturally flows into the call to action. Because our data told us the pain is a cash flow gap, our LLM prompt proposes a perfectly symmetric offer. We might pitch them an installment plan so we aren't disrupting their already fragile cash flow, and we back that up with a quick savings calculator as our proof. It's totally seamless.
Finally, Section 5. Let's talk about automating this sales pipeline for ultimate speed and scale.
This right here is the holy grail. The ultimate goal is piping that customized output from the LLM directly into your CRM interface via a simple API connection. And what is so brilliant about this is the absolute simplicity of it. You don't need crazy expensive, overly complicated AI architectures like RAG vector embeddings. By just feeding the LLM clean, structured behavioral data right in the prompt, a perfectly crafted, personalized pitch literally just pops up on the screen the exact moment your sales rep opens the client's file.
So, what's the big takeaway from all this? Right now, as we speak, your website's raw data logs are hiding money. Those messy, overwhelming files are absolutely packed with the exact signals you need to stop guessing by eye and start generating incredibly precise, high-converting offers. The technology is here, it's accessible, and as we've just seen, this pipeline is entirely buildable today. So the only real question left is, are you ready to stop guessing, dig into your own data, and start generating real results? Definitely something to think about as you look at your own company's systems. Thank you so much for hanging out with me on this explainer, and I can't wait to explore more of these fascinating concepts with you next time.